Pope John Paul II once said that the gospel lives in conversation with culture, and unless the church engages culture, the gospel itself falls silent. And Pope Francis in Rio de Janeiro at World Youth Day 2013 also said that the best tool to evangelize a young person is another young person. So, how's this for engaging culture and evangelizing young people?
Hey, big guy. Yeah, I look as crooked as a question mark. But that don't mean a private eye don't pray every day. Even when it ain't easy. And the incense is so thick you could slice it, butter it, and serve it with runny eggs. But it's important to put the time in here. Anyway, there's worse places I could be. And believe me, I've been there. And when I think of some of the times in my past I ain't too proud of, sometimes I get a little nauseated. Or maybe that was the fish. Reflecting like this gets me thinking of the things I'd done. Things I'd like to forget but can't. Things like that nose enlargement I got one balmy night in Manila. Yeah, I've made mistakes. But that's why I'm thankful I can go to God with my sins. He'll take them. And so, I've discovered my favorite part of Lent, repentance.
That was a scene from the highly successful and Emmy award-winning TV show Generation Cross. It was very successful, but did it engage culture? Did it evangelize youth? Well, to help us answer those questions and many more, I am now joined by the host and producer of that show, Generation Cross, the Catholic guy himself, Lino Rulli.
Hey, I got the answers, yes and yes.
Yes and no.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
That's it for Catholic Focus. What was the thinking behind the show?
Well, the thing behind the show was I had a bachelor's degree in communications, a master's degree in theology. I'm nearly unemployable. I mean, at that point in your life, you have very few choices in life.
But were you working for a parish?
I wasn't.
You weren't working at all.
I was completely unemployed. Did I mention my background in education? Bachelor's in communication.
Okay, so you went
theology.
into like how did you?
I went to church one Sunday.
Okay, good.
Told you, Mom.
Yeah.
So I went to church one Sunday. God is my witness. Unemployed, and the priest happened to be Italian American.
Okay. Yes.
Now I don't know if you can tell by my very pale skin and small nose, but I'm Italian.
And your last name.
And my entire.
Yes. You're actually.
I'm Italian. So after Mass one day...
Okay, so you never met an Italian priest before? What?
No.
It was a surprise?
Yeah, I didn't really go to church. Yeah, I met Italian priests. I went to a Mass that a church I'd never been to
and
back
the priest
in
was
Minneapolis.
Italian.
Priest happened to be an Italian American, and afterward, during Mass, the homily was... And so I was daydreaming, and I thought to myself, maybe I should ask this guy if he could help me in some way with my career. Why? I have no idea how.
Okay, yeah. Divine inspiration.
After Mass, I was one of those creepy guys who kind of hangs around and lingers. Priests know what deacons know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you know, and basically every priest or deacon, by the look in your eyes, you're calculating how many minutes of your life this is going to suck up.
Yes, that you'll never get back.
5 minutes.
Yes.
So she's got the crazy eyes. There's 20. So as you're looking around, right?
Absolutely.
So he's looking at me, and I was lingering, and you could see I wasn't going until everybody was gone. I really just walked up and said, hi, my name is Lino Rulli. Here's my background. I'm looking to serve the church in some way.
Yeah.
He happened to be working at a parish that had started a television ministry where they were televising the Mass.
Okay.
He said, would you like to get involved with that? And I said, oh, God, no. And
yeah.
Honesty is always the best policy. And I said, okay, yeah, maybe I will. And that ended up leading to, we got all this TV equipment around. What if we did a TV show? And then, and this is the part that I always give him credit for when it comes to church leaders, is a lot of people who want to serve the church, or just want to do good for the church, we've got our own ideas, but we're always going to basically do whatever the important, holy, or higher people want, right?
Yes.
And so I was trying to sell, like, what if we did a boring show? Like, it'll be about boring stuff.
Yeah.
And he instead said, well, geez, you're 25 years old. Why don't you do a show for people like your age?
Yeah.
Now, there's the thing that was the key to me, is he gave me the freedom. I had never been on a television show in my life, never hosted, never produced, and he gave me the freedom, in a sense, to fail, but also to succeed. And the goal was to make something Catholic. And the way we determined success was that if I went to a bar and a girl came up to me and said, "Hey, I watch your TV show," I told this priest, we both win.
Okay.
I win for obvious reasons, and the church wins because it's reaching a demo of otherwise not reached.
Okay, so so that people can understand, because things in the States are different in terms. So where was this TV show airing? On a secular TV network somewhere?
Is it so different in the States?
It is.
Are we all so
completely
different?
It is completely different.
Really? I know the currency, but otherwise I feel like we're all one.
So
here.
it was like a local TV network. And anybody could have a TV show on this network. Did anybody pay for airtime? How does that work?
No.
What?
Are you mad at me? I don't know what's wrong.
I
feel like this interview's gone very weird.
No, so it's that easy that a parish priest can just say, let's have a TV show, and it's on some local TV network.
Now you're mad. I don't know what you want from me, Deacon.
I want answers.
So it started.
I'm going to move to Minnesota.
I think there's nothing an audience finds more interesting than behind the scenes of programming executives' decisions, right? I mean, I think that's fascinating. Well, there was where I'm from in the Twin Cities, there was a cable channel. It wasn't cable access. It was a cable channel that you could either pay for or you could get commercial airtime, and there was a way of getting on.
So there was a way to getting that. So your show was airing on, so the girl at the bar could potentially watch it.
Yeah, so like it was CBS, ABC, this channel, and then other channels.
Great. So then the idea sort of, I know you maybe didn't set out to evangelize or catechize, but was that, this priest, was he maybe thinking about that this is, I mean, everybody's talking about missionary and, go make disciples of all nations. This is a missionary.
I don't know if everybody is. Some people are.
Well, anybody that matters. So it was a missionary enterprise in a sense.
Yeah, I think that, in Catholic circles, words like evangelization and catechetical and stuff are great words.
Nobody knows what they mean.
Right.
No, but in terms of just having like, hey, let's do a show. Were you only thinking, let's do a show, and hopefully some girl in a bar is going to meet me?
That's the goal.
Maybe you were.
That's the goal.
But was somebody thinking, let's try to reach young people? What does that mean?
Yeah, that was the goal. Whenever really good-intentioned people sometimes in the church want to get together, though, and do something, they put way too much theology into something, or they put way too much bureaucracy into something.
Yeah.
Here's what I know about the Catholic Church. The people in the church are great. It's just filled with fun, great people, and that's not always the message that's gotten out to the rest of the world.
Yes,
so my goal was put out a funny TV show that represents the Catholicism that I know, the priests that I know, the regular lay people that I know. Let's go out and let's go swing dancing with a nun. Let's go rock climbing with a priest. Those are the people that inspire me to be a better Catholic. And by the way, how could I be a worse one? But
you're right, and you're showing the church that people don't normally see, or people have this idea that the church is this thing, angry, sad people, and this is not the church that you know or that I know.
Right. Catechesis isn't what excites me about Catholicism. Catholicism, the real essence of Catholicism, as the way it's lived out in the people that I like and know, are what push me and drive me on to try to have a deeper relationship with God. And if it wasn't for the people who excited me about Catholicism, I wouldn't be a guy who goes to Sunday
You wouldn't
Mass.
be the Catholic guy.
I wouldn't be the Catholic guy. I wouldn't go to confession. I wouldn't do half the stuff that brings me the peace that is in my life if they just gave me a pamphlet. I saw it lived out, and I saw it lived out in a very positive, cool, fun way. And that's all I wanted to put out to the world.
Okay, so the show has segments. We already saw the funny detective black and white segment. Memorable. What's maybe the most memorable segment or scene that you remember shooting?
The one that the audience has always told me was the most, what they thought was fun was a segment called Fan Appreciation Day.
Yes.
Where my friend Bill Arnold and myself went outside in a cold January in Minnesota to just welcome the fans, and we wanted to be appreciated. And it didn't
go well. Anyway, you already spoiled alert, but let's watch it.
Well, we'd like to thank you all for making it out here today. Hello, everybody.
Hey, good to see you.
You're nobody till somebody loves you.
Slower than I thought.
Really?
You're nobody till somebody cares.
Well, on the bright side, we haven't heard anybody say anything bad about us yet.
So far, nothing negative. So far.
So far.
I think it's just going to pick up.
Well, it can't go down from here, that's for sure. That's what you mean.
Yeah.
The only way there'd be less people if I leave. See, it's all about discouragement. That's all I can tell you.
But you get discouraged on a daily basis.
Yes, we do. You are right once again.
So, it's just trying to It's trying to stay focused and obedient.
A great line Mother Teresa's got is, God doesn't ask us to be successful, God calls us to be faithful. And this is exactly what the devil wants. He wants us to get discouraged. That's right, I'm blaming the devil for nobody showing up.
Yeah. My motto is never quit unless it's harder than you want it to be. Then bail. And the sooner the better. The sooner the better.
How's it going? You see anybody?
There's no one around here.
Now, you mentioned that the fact that it had to be funny.
How about a little laughter after we see something, Deacon Pedro? You come out of
I've
everything
seen it
so
before.
serious,
I've
like
seen
you
it
want
before. No,
to. You look like a guy who wants to jump out of a window. I mean, this is the comedy thing we just put on TV. You're like,
I know.
Hey, I
It's
mentioned
because I'm
before.
acting. Well, and I was going to talk about humor.
oh, good. We'll do so in as serious a tone as
how
possible.
important? It's important that it was funny. Why?
Why was it important that it's funny?
Yeah. Why? Why is
You're
humor?
mad at me again. You got mad at me earlier in this segment. Now you seem to be mad at me.
Yes.
again.
Answers.
Why is it important something's funny?
Yes.
Because I don't know if you've ever gone outside. However, the way
I walked to work this morning.
okay, good. That's it.
Okay.
I won't talk about you and your social life. I'll talk about me and my social life.
Yes, that's
funny.
funny.
Oh boy, my social life is entertaining. I like being entertained.
Okay, so funny and entertaining.
I think at the core, everybody likes a laugh. When you laugh, your guard is down. When you laugh, your fears go away. It's impossible to be both laughing and afraid at the
Yes,
same time,
yes.
right? So when you're laughing, you're just naturally more disposed. I mean, if I have to ask you for money, I should put you in a good mood, make you laugh,
And then hit me.
and which I'm going to be doing later.
Yeah,
by the way. I'm just
exactly.
trying to find the
Yeah.
right time for me to say something funny. I need cab fare. But if you're laughing, then your guard is down. You're more open to almost anything in life, including
Okay, I get
faith.
it. No, I get it. I get it.
well, good.
I
Thank
get
you.
it. So
Thank
why
you.
do you think that people
Mad
are
at me
so
again.
no?
What
Why
is
are
it?
people?
What is this, you
Why
guys?
do
What is
people
it?
have a problem with that? Because like we have Pope Francis, and he's always smiling, and he's even cracked some jokes, and some people don't like it. What's up with that? Why do people have a problem with Catholicism being funny or entertaining or humorous?
I think it comes down to two things. The first one is to be serious about faith, because they hear the word serious, they assume they must be
pious.
serious.
Yes.
So I'll give them a pass on that. Some people say, in order for me to have a serious relationship with God, I must be serious. Okay, well, that's their mental attitude. I think other people aren't funny. They aren't pleasant to be around. No, I'm not kidding. There are people who are nasty individuals.
Not me.
And no, but I don't think we can ever account. We can't account for everything in this life. There are people who don't like Pope
Well, there are
Francis.
some people
what
who
am
are
I going
sad.
to do? People don't like Pope Francis. He's not this. He's too much of that. I go.
He laughs.
You're all mental, and there's nothing I can do about that. You know what I mean? I got my own mental problems. I'm in therapy, but just because I think something doesn't make it true. So I give credit to anybody who says faith is such a serious thing. How could you ever be lighthearted about it?
Yes.
I understand where they're coming from, because being serious about faith means being serious about life in their minds. They just haven't seen how
They
it's
just haven't
lived
figured out that you can still be serious and have a good sense of humor or laughter. I mean, Jesus laughed. We knew that. Is there a difference between being silly and being funny? Because I would watch a lot of your segments, and I'd say, okay, that's just silly. And some of
Yeah.
it's not as funny as other things.
You know, some of your questions are not as good as other questions, so I
Well,
understand what you're
so
saying.
is there a danger in being too silly?
Well, sure, but again, this is what I do for a living. I would use the word career, but let's use that word very loosely. What I do for
You
a
do
living
pay your rent.
is,
Yeah.
rent control, but it's New York City. What I do for a living is entertainment.
Yes.
It's sometimes going to hit the mark, sometimes it's going to miss
Yeah,
the
yeah,
mark. Sometimes it's going to be not funny at all, but anybody who ever is going to endeavor to try to be entertaining, go watch a movie.
Yeah.
And you go, oh,
Yeah,
I bet
yeah.
they tried to write a comedy there. That didn't work.
Yes.
Watch Letterman, watch Leno, watch, what's a Canadian TV show host?
Deacon Pedro.
Oh yeah, oh, yeah. There's a laugh a minute, but you name whoever you want to name. And some nights the monologue's no good at all, and some nights it's too
Yeah,
silly, and
yeah,
some
yeah.
nights it's offensive. Well, anybody who tries anything
is gonna
fail, and sometimes
yeah.
Pope Francis's homilies are great, and sometimes they're good, but not
Yeah,
great. I mean,
yeah,
we're all
yeah,
human beings. We're all
absolutely.
just doing our best.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so clearly you had lots of fun making the show. You've spoken about the fan appreciation. It's very funny. But it's one I remember once. Can you think of a scene or segment that you would have worked on that was just hilarious, that you think is funny?
No.
No, very
No,
serious.
nothing comes to
Can
mind.
you think of anything that was very serious?
No, I can't think of anything funny. I did that TV show 6 years. Nothing comes to mind.
No, nothing.
No, sorry.
No, so that's
Sorry,
it.
I got
You're
nothing.
just gonna nothing. So we're not gonna watch a segment right now.
Oh, something just came to mind. It's as if you didn't prep me earlier.
Okay, no, we didn't.
No, he didn't.
I have no idea what he's gonna say. So what segment are you gonna?
Well, you know what people loved, which I loved as well, was the time I got to be a rapper on TV. I mean, what childhood dream wasn't fulfilled?
Perfect.
there?
Don't talk about it. Let's watch it.
I rock the street, I rock it well. Sucker MCs try to ring my bell, but they don't know what my peeps already know. Mess with me and I'll show you the door, cause I got F. Stop power, girl, get a picture of me. I'll show you that F. Stop power, you know you can't wait to see. Well, I know this girl and she wanted me to grab my Polaroid and go take a seat. So that's what I did, and sure enough, true, that little girl said, show me that F. Stop power, girl, get a picture of me. Show you that F. Stop power, you know you can't wait to see. Break it down.
Okay, so we just watched this hilarious Italian guy trying to be a rapper.
Wait a minute. Are you being sarcastic?
So you're not doing Generation Cross anymore.
Why you have to be laughing about it? I mean,
no, I know,
you're
because you've moved on in your career. You're now the radio guy. You're now the radio guy, the Catholic guy on radio, on the Catholic channel. The approach, again, is very unlike any other Catholic show that's out there.
Thank you.
Some people hate it because they say it sounds like sports, bad sports talk show.
Well, excuse me, I've not heard that specific complaint. This is new.
Okay, but so did you set out to say, I'm going to be the Catholic Howard Stern? Is this a choice you made, or did it just kind of happen?
Well, here's what it is. Certainly because I was being hired at Sirius Satellite Radio before it became Sirius XM,
Yes.
Howard Stern was the main personality, still is the main personality of Sirius. The gentleman that brought Howard Stern to satellite radio brought me to satellite radio.
The same person.
Same person.
Yeah.
And, it really still comes down to, I don't know if a lot of people in the church know this or not, but numbers are dwindling. Are we familiar with this information? Yeah. Are we familiar that people aren't going to church as often? It's kind of going like this?
Yeah, in North America.
And so my thought process on this was, well, gee, if I have a potential audience of millions of people who are just already listening to Howard and flipping through the dial, I could be super boring and ensure future generations not get involved with the Catholic Church.
Yes.
Or I could do whatever it is I might have some talent and ability for, which might be entertaining or which might be having a conversation in a normal way. And maybe that would work out. Now, was I trying to be the Howard Stern of Catholicism? No. But Howard Stern is wildly successful and influential as a broadcaster.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody in the Catholic Church could be wildly successful and inspirational, so not just influential, but inspirational as a broadcaster, well, I would like that to have been me. So that's all I did was said, well, I can't be anything but the person God created me to be. I would like to be other. I'd like to be good looking. I'd like to be a lot smarter than I am. You'd probably like to have hair, Deacon Pedro.
I would like to have hair.
But we all don't get what we want, do we now?
Yeah. Well, I used to have hair.
Too soon, by the way?
And you used to be good looking.
Just when I was a baby.
When you were like 12.
No, I was horrible looking
no,
at 12.
yeah.
But, so this is the way I talk. This is the way I interact. Now, could I have a conversation with you in a more serious tone and not be myself? Yes, but that's not really...
But then you wouldn't be authentic.
And I think as Christians...
And people wouldn't like it because they would recognize that you're not being authentic. I think.
Oh, I think
they would recognize that.
You're probably right, but some people wouldn't be able to understand that I'm not being authentic. But I think this is something Pope Francis, another thing Pope Francis really is teaching us when it comes to the Christian life: be yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
Look, he goes in. He goes. I'm the new successor to St. Peter. All right. I know there are things you all want me to do. You want me to move in there. You want me to drive in this car. It's really not my thing. Yeah. And he goes, I'm not going to change.
Okay.
I think that we'd have to look at ourselves and say, well, now what talents has God given me? What abilities do I have? He's made me like this for a reason. It doesn't mean to excuse sin. Well, he made me to be an adulterer. He made me to be a murderer.
Absolutely.
We're not talking about silliness here. I'm talking about who are you, and what is at the essence of your Christian faith? How did he make you? Well, do you want to just, as the Gospels say, you want to take that light and hide it under a bushel basket? Or are you going to do something?
Yeah, and recognize it as a gift.
And so I can't be anything on the radio other than what I am. Howard Stern has influenced me. David Letterman has influenced me. Run DMC has influenced me. I mean, the people who've influenced me have influenced me.
Right.
And it would be a lie to say anything other than
that. Now, another of your dreams was to be published as an author. In the last 2 years, 2 books. Is that correct?
That's correct.
First book called Sinner. We don't need to talk about that because we get it.
Well.
Second book just came out. It's called Saint. To go back to the same question, do you write these books with this mission in mind? I want to reach out people so that we can evangelize, so that we can reach out to them, show them a church that maybe they haven't seen before. Is that an intention that you could say is behind the book, or are we just writing, funny stories about Lino Rulli?
Well, these books, the radio, the TV, whatever it is I do, is for the regular person. It's really just, there's a bunch of stories in here that hopefully you'll find them funny.
Yeah. Well, I found Sinner funny, so I'm looking forward to reading this. Yeah.
And so if you find them funny...
Funny and meaningful at the same time. It's not just funny.
Well, what I hope is relatable.
Yeah.
Because I swear to you, what encourages me is Deacon Pedro's a funny guy, and you're a normal guy. And I like goofing on you on the air. But I've known you for a while now, and you're a good guy. Now, when I know you're a good guy, and you're a deacon in the church, and I know that you work for the church and you serve the church, it makes me want to serve the church, and it makes me want to work harder. It makes the church look good. But if I know that you're not perfect, and if I know that you're striving for holiness but you keep screwing up, but I know you still persevere, but I know you as a guy who I like, then that makes me want to persevere more. Well, that's all I try to do in this book and the radio and the TV, is try to tell you, hey, I'm a big screw up. My stories are of me screwing up. My stories are of me having more failures in my life than successes, and yet I'm not giving up on the Catholic thing. Now, if you think that we are relatable, and you think, I kind of am like him in some ways, then maybe as I'm striving for holiness in heaven, maybe I can encourage you to do the same thing. That's really the goal.
Absolutely, yeah, and to recognize that you can still be a saint, or that we're all called to be saints anyway, despite the fact that we have failings, and that I can relate to that. That's all the time we have.
Oh!
I know, it's TV. That's the format we got to follow. So, but if you want to learn more about what this guy's doing, thecatholicguy.com?
No, that's some guy in Australia. He stole it from me.
Really?
Yeah.
So, but you're catholicguy.com.
Yeah. Don't go to thecatholicguy.com. You have to drink a Foster's when you're there. It's a nightmare.
So thecatholicguy.com is a guy in Australia. Catholicguy.com is Lino Rulli.
Why are we promoting his website again? We're promoting his as much as we're promoting mine.
I'm going to go find out who he is. But you're also on Facebook, so if you like him on Facebook, make sure you go to Deacon Pedro and like me on Facebook as well. And are you following me on Twitter?
Huh?
At Lino Rulli, correct?
That's
it. And if
me.
you have access to Sirius XM, the Catholic channel, you're on from 5 to 7 Eastern, Monday to Friday, so tune in.
PM.
If you like PM.
You didn't say
You're
PM.
not at 5 in the morning.
No, I'm not at 5 in the morning.
5 to 7 Eastern in the evening. If you like bad sports talk radio. Wow. No, it's good. It's good. You just have to listen to it a few times.
Oh.
So, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. What a way to send me off, by the way. If you like bad sports talk radio, listen to Lino.
It's been good. And the book book is published by Servant Books.
Yeah, get that promotion.
The book is published by Servant Books, so look it up. I've been speaking with the Catholic guy, Lino Rulli. Look him up. If you have any questions about anything you heard on the show, send him a tweet at Lino Rulli.
Just about anything?
You could, anything. Or anything about Catholic Focus, you can also email us, focus@saltandlighttv.org. I'm Deacon Pedro, and I'll see you next time on Catholic Focus.